Well, good afternoon again. This is Andy Gutierrez of 86% Visual Advantage. You have seen my other videos, I hope you have at least, because today we're going to start the whole idea of why do people remember what you tell them? Or why don't they remember what you tell them? Right? And then being a negotiator or a salesperson, you want your customer to remember certain things. What you want them to remember. That's always the key here, always the key. So today we're going to be talking about a number of different things. We're going to be talking about how the brain controls what people actually do remember. Okay? It's not just about, saying something to them, because we know that only 9% of what a person retains they hear. But we do know that 86% of what a person remembers, they actually do see. Okay? So what we're going to do today is we're going to take this apart a little bit. We're going to start talking about the brain. Now don't worry, I'm not going to get into any big scientific stuff about this stuff and you're going to get bored. However, we've got to understand the rules of the game, otherwise we won't understand why people don't remember what we want them to remember. And the last thing we're going to discuss is the brain's short-term memory visual capacities, because these are different than the auditory capacities that we talked about earlier. We're going to talk about the maximum of 4 items in excess of 30 seconds, that you actually do have a memory sketch pad and additional holding areas in the brain for visual items and ideas. And also that the memory trace duration will last, maybe around 4 seconds. But we'll get deeper into that and to what that means. Because remember, this is all about getting your client to understand and remember what you want them to remember. Okay, the next thing we have over here, we're talking about the brain, short-term memory, but visual capacities. Now, because of all of these tests that they've done, are these visual capacities more or less than what we just discussed? Is it going to last 30 seconds? Right? Is it going to have any longer duration of the thought process and what it remembers? It's all up to you. If you know the rules of the game, you can get people to remember things, but you've got to understand the rules of the brain. And you've got to understand how the process actually works. Once again, I'll say this over and over again, I can't understand how behavioral scientists can have proven facts about the memory process, but yet, in any sales process, a negotiations process, they don't take that into effect. It blows my mind why that doesn't come together. But anyhow, let's take a look at this thing over here. Visual capacities. Now that means it's a capacity. It doesn't mean you're going to get there. It means that's the total limit. That's the high end. Maximum of 4 items in excess of 30 seconds. 4 items in excess of 30 seconds. Not 3 to 30. In excess of 30 seconds. That's because when you see something, in the back right over here of your eyeballs is where the visual neurons are. And when they see something, they actually see and hear it at the same time. One process. And that's why they can do more with it. The visual memory and short-term memory has a sketch pad. So that when it sees it, it automatically is sketching it right into the brain. Right now. It sees it. So it has a longer duration of a little sketch pad. It's like someone saying to you that they can write it automatically, like when you see these pictures in the courthouse or something like that, when a reporter can't get in. They give you a sketch, right? But this is done instantaneously in the brain when they see something. It's remarkable.